Hi, Bougie Gang. What's going on? Ooh, I forgot to put the chat on. Hey, guys. What's going on? Happy Sunday. What's going on, everybody? Who got here first? Oh, member milestone. Okay, as Dimple's loving you here. Okay, period. Okay, who got here first? Hi, Mocha Wine. What's going on? How's it going, dear? Sunflower Babe. Is it Sunflower Babe TT? Okay. Sunflower Babe T. Okay. And S Dimples. How's it going, guys? One, two, three. First, what's going on? Guys, we have had a super duper quiet, low key Sunday. And the day was just going. I was literally getting ready to hit the live button like at 10:15. I had gone to the park, um, and Farah and I came back, and I was going to go live almost like right when I got home, and I don't know, I got on the computer and I started doing some research because I was like, you know what? Let me double check something. Let me check into something that I'm thinking. And I did, and I got caught up in it like pretty much all day. That's what happened. Then I started reading comments. Happy birthday. So it's Renee's birthday. Is Renee a Cancer or a. She's definitely not a Leo, right? Leo did not happen yet. Leo's happening soon. So Cancer. Happy birthday, Renee. Happy birthday to all my July folk. It's getting Farrah's birthday is coming up soon. Um so yeah. Happy birthday, July. Happy birthday to all of my July babies. How are you doing? I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Where's Renee? Hey boo. Your birthday was yesterday. Happiest of wonderful, beautiful birthdays. I hope you had a wonderful birthday. Oh, and happy Sunday to you, Soul Power. Okay, you guys, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna drop the call in. Let's do that. And then I'm gonna drop the Q&A box. Let's see what's going on with that. You guys are so funny. Was that Friday night? Let me see. With all of the Sean Hoover, with all of the Sean Hooverisms. Now that was funny. You guys are not giving Sean Hoover any slack, but I mean, the trends are what they are. I went into the files and I started digging, and baby, it's giving negotiated pleas, it's giving guilty verdicts, okay? It's not giving. Far be it from me to put out any misinformation, but I think you know, but it's not far off though, Fit Mama. I did some research. I've got the facts. It's not even just tea. I've got the facts to back it up. Okay? Cuz sis was all up in Odyssey today. Okay? I got all the way up into Odyssey, and ma'am was just, putting some facts to the feelings. Okay. We were having some feelings, and I put some facts to the feelings, because all you have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, girl, I can't give out too much. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell how I do things, but trust, it was done. It was done. I actually started recording a video, but I'm not done yet. I've gotten into maybe like about 20 cases. I started with closed cases, the most recent closed cases in Fulton County. I'm not going any. Fulton County has enough. I think I counted 174. Let me be quiet. Um and I've gone into about 20. And based on the data, my data analysis thus far, it's giving very much negotiated pleas. It's giving pled guilty. It's giving no contest. And it's giving very much, I haven't seen a not guilty verdict yet. I've seen more so no contest. I've seen guilty and negotiated plea. Very much so. That's what I'm saying. And what did we see on this past, was it Friday? And what did we see on this past Friday for Mr. Tyler? Was it Tyler Orlando? Mr. Orlando Taylor? The other party in the cash out case, because we know that was we watched the opening statement, right? And the opening arguments. And it was giving very much, yeah, gave guilty. Look, we already said, well, when was that we watched? That was like over a month ago, right? When Sean came through, like trying to drag the victims. We called that 6 weeks ago, however long ago it was. That was a mess. It was like, sir, these women are in distress and you're over here trying to blame victims. Okay, girl. It was a mess. Yeah, the funny thing to me was that Hoover's client, girl, let me pull up the name. Orlando Taylor. I forgot what his name was. Hold on a second. Orlando. I don't know why all I could remember is Orlando. Um um all I could remember was the fact that he did not get guilty for pimping Hoover's client, but he got guilty on everything else. I was like, you know what? That's about right. He should, no, I'm not talking about Gibson. I'm talking about Hoover's client. I know who Gibson is. I'm just saying as far as Hoover's client. Hoover's client's name was Orlando something or other. What was his name? That's sad. The man's gonna probably get life in prison and nobody really knows his name. Not Gibson, not Mama Cash Out, but Hoover's client. Look. Yes, Tyrone Orlando Taylor. Guilty on all counts with the exception of pimping, which if I don't, they may as well have thrown that in. I guess maybe, I don't know. I don't know why they wouldn't have had, if they had proof of everything else, how they didn't have proof of that is incredible. Yeah. Tyrone Orlando Taylor. Yes, that was Hoover's client. Well, there is always the two. So Sonia allegedly paid for an attorney. Hold on, let me put the Q&A box out. Let me put the hold on. Let's see. Q&A box. Send your This is for questions, okay? This is for questions, all right? If you are send questions. Okay. Oh man, I messed it up. Hold on, let me fix it. My bad. Okay, there we go. So Sonia said she paid for 2 lawyers the other day. Is that So I think we talked about that in members. If you're not in members, we did. So when she went to Sylvia's channel last week on Sunday, we talked about all of that, I think, on Monday and Tuesday. So if you are not in members, get you some and go and check it out. We reacted to pretty much the full videos. So those videos are there. So we're not going to get all the way up into it again, but if you want to, we had a good time. Um, but yeah, as far as Sonia saying she paid for 2 lawyers, we know, look, based on the videos or based on, we know that he was trying to consult with a lawyer. We know he saw the guy, um, Overton Terry, right? We know he saw him at least once. Overton never came back. He barely responded. And Nesto was trying to pull a, well, if we can get the G Wagon, then we can flip the G. You can flip the G Wagon and then you can take your legal fees. He was trying to finesse something to be able to try to pay this man, and he wasn't going for it. So I don't know if he had to pay for that consultation. Sonia told him that he was going to have to get a fee before he came to meet with Nesto. And I don't know if she paid for that or not. Did they finesse him to come without paying for that visit or not? If the lawyer says, I need a certain amount of money before I come and do a consultation, then I would imagine he got his money, sent to him. So I don't know why she would consider that paying for a lawyer, but she's stupid, man. You know what I mean? What else can we say? She's sitting up here doing time with someone else's husband who's not getting out. I mean, I'm not going to play with you. When I looked at a ton of cases. I looked at over 20 maybe 23 today. Clicked on everything just to see, not even to, I didn't download a whole bunch of paperwork. I didn't get into all the details. I just wanted to see what the dispositions were. How did they end? Were there not guilties? Were there this? Were there that? There was one case that got dismissed. So a couple things that I learned about Hoover from looking at these cases. So there was a case that he had. If you're listening, Sean, I got all up into your cases. So um there was a case that he had. It was a drug case, and they did the motion to suppress the vehicle search. Very like, okay, we know about this, right? Because he filed, and this was actually someone, I think this person, if I remember correctly, maybe was arrested in 2022 also, like if I'm remember, because I looked at a bunch of cases, right? Um and this just got finalized not too long ago. Now, so they filed a motion to suppress, and what happened is that there was the Atlanta police officer that pulled this person over did not show up to court. Not during trial, but this was all during pretrial. So they filed the motion to suppress. Sound familiar? They had the hearing. The police officer was subpoenaed to come, right? Sound familiar? Natalie Fields came. They subpoenaed this police officer. The police officer didn't show up. They rescheduled the hearing, and the first time I think they sent a summons, or they sent something for the police officer to show up. I would imagine it was a subpoena. They sent another for the police officer to show up. No one from Atlanta Police Department showed up for the hearing. Why? I do not know. I can't tell you. But what happened is that the case ended up getting dismissed. And that occurred sometime in 2025. And I mean, it was a substantial, it was a drug charge. They had 6 different charges. It was a drug case. They had 6 different charges, and everything got thrown out because APD did not show up. So I don't know, there could be any reason why a police officer didn't show, or a representative from APD. Maybe that particular officer isn't there anymore. I don't know what the other reasons would be for someone to not show up. I would think that that's odd, because that's probably, I'm sure it's part of their job. They've got to be able to defend the things that they're doing, because they did file charges, right? So you would go to court to defend your actions and why you picked someone up and thought that it was worth submitting a case. So anyway, that was one case that I saw that he had in 24-25, where a case actually got dismissed. Now, as far as other cases being adjudicated, I'm talking about Sean Hoover, if you're just now coming in. For the most part, I'm going to say the thing that popped out at me the most were the negotiated pleas. Negotiated pleas and life with possibility of parole. Not everybody. I definitely saw a couple so far, but I haven't been through everything. I made myself I'm going through a certain amount. And once I get through that amount, then I'll give you my tally. I'm collecting the data at the moment. Okay. So I'm working on it. But I definitely noticed, and Neesto has a track record of taking pleas. So that's nothing new, right? So, okay, someone did ask a question. Do we know if Dion sent? How would we know that? Do we know if Dion sent Daddy some money for his personals? Please, since he is balling. I have no idea. We don't get records. Like, it's not possible, at least as far as I know, to get accounting of their commissary accounts or anything like that. So I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't know. The only way we're going to find that out, what I would say, is if when Neesto calls and he says, "Thanks, I got that money you sent me." You know what I mean? Otherwise, there's no way that we know. If I'm going to tell, if we had access to that type of material, we would have been running all the way through that by now. You know what I'm saying? So I have no idea. And to just be honest, we don't have that. Phone calls from prison and whoever else on this internet, we share that stuff immediately. I do have some text messages we can go through. But yeah, I wouldn't say so many guilty verdicts. I'm going to be honest with you. It's negotiated pleas. It's so and so pled guilty, and maybe they pled guilty to this, that, and the third, and then they no pros the rest of it. Or they were found guilty, and then this is what they got. But yeah, it was a lot of like negotiated plea, and girl, jail time. What was they call it? Confinement. It's confinement. It's confinements and probation. Um, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look like I hadn't seen. So the person whose case got dismissed, I'm sure they're happy. There was one person, and they did some. I had to learn something new today called a dead docket. They had someone whose charges ended up going to a dead docket, and I was like, I think the person was doing life out of Gwinnett County already. I was like, well, damn. Okay. Um, So, dead docket is a legal term primarily used in Georgia criminal law, referring to a case that is placed on an inactive list by the prosecutor, effectively postponing it indefinitely. Homeboy had, I think, a life sentence coming out of Gwinnett County. So, it's almost like, what was the point? You know what I mean? So I guess they went ahead and put it on indefinite dead docket because you know what I mean? I guess the cost to convict this person maybe it just didn't make sense based on the person's already in Georgia Department of Corrections, already doing a pretty significant sentence unless something changes. So I guess if they put on dead docket, they can revitalize it. I guess if that person were to ever appeal and maybe find themselves walking out the door, they can say, aha, remember this case? But as far as anything else, so that was one of, yeah, it wasn't a negative outcome, but the client already has a lifetime to do. So it was already kind of like, well, um, you hope they don't offer. I don't know what they're going to offer, but this is my point regarding Roberto is that that seems to be his specialty. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying that's his specialty. I'm just going to say it seems to be his specialty or his bread and butter on some negotiated or plea deals, because that's what it was looking like based on when I looked at his closed cases for 24 and 25. There's a lot of pled guilty or found guilty type of thing. Hmm. Not a lot of innocent, not a lot of found not guilty. No, not that I haven't gotten to that part yet. In all fairness, I'm not done with my research. So in all fairness, I'm not done. Okay. But based on what I've seen so far, that's the trend. Because I kind of fell down like a little bit of a rabbit hole with that. Okay. Given how much Nesto lies, okay. Given how much, but if I do find any information, sis, on commissary, I don't know if that's something we could. I've never even asked for that. I wonder if that's something we can get. I doubt it, but it's worth an ask. I don't I so I'll let you know. Given how much Nesto lies and Sonia plots, what do we think Hoover has to work with as a defense for Nesto? I'm going to be honest with you. After seeing Nesto, after seeing, first of all, what we know about Nesto, right? We know this, and this is information that was offered to us by Will Wooten. Nesto has a history of taking plea deals, right? So, looking at Hoover's closed cases, the 20 most recent, it's guilty verdicts and negotiated pleas. I see him having a very uh, problematic clientele who are probably on a wing and a prayer. I don't know if Sean has they don't stand a chance desk. I don't know what is going on over there, but what's the defense that he has for Nesto? I mean, there's so many charges. Let's just be for real. Outside of the track record of the accused defendant being someone who doesn't mind taking a plea deal, and then on top of the lawyer being someone who seems to kind of negotiate out, because I mean, what have we seen Sean do recently? He had that RICO in that other county a couple months ago, right? The man got life without parole, or right, life without parole, and that was negotiated, right? The man just went ahead and took the deal. Mr. Tyrone Orlando Taylor was just basically found guilty of everything. I think like 8 or 9 felonies with the exception of misdemeanor pimping. Woohoo. He's going to be going to jail for a very long time. It's a mess. Uh I think Hoover saw that he had some success with this other situation. I think he thought, based on his last case, he had a case. If you're just now coming in, Hoover had a case where he filed a motion to suppress, and it kind of worked because the police officer didn't show up to testify on 2 occasions, and the judge threw it out. I don't know if he was thinking Natalie Fields wasn't going to show up, or she was going to get frustrated, or just based on everything, the technicalities of it all, that he was going to get a technicality and score a Hail Mary for Neesto. But, she held her own. Also, Will Wooten is on his job doing the appropriate research and bringing the receipts. So wherever Natalie Fields fell short, Will Wooten had the receipts to supplement. So, okay, it's a Fourth Amendment violation. Well, guess what? It was illegal. It was illegally obtained. According to not his wife at the time, the woman that he was defrauding in a bigamous marriage, he used her information without her authorization. And because the marriage was a fraud, I'm going to just say it like this too. Even if she gave, let's just say she gave Neesto her permission to use her credit, the fact that she was being defrauded and he really wasn't her husband and he was married to everybody else, because it was a fraudulent marriage, she could say, as far as the law, anything that was done under that marriage can now be seen as some sort of a fraud because the marriage started on a fraud. And if she wants to dispute the fact that, she was scammed, then anything that she did based on the strength of a marriage that was not valid because you fucking lied to me, you dragged me in front of my people, in front of my job and all of my fancy friends and all of the things, all of that goes out of the window because the whole entire thing was a fraud. So Sonia can come with her damn receipts and say Shirley knew this and Shirley knew that. Shirley didn't know that he was entering her into a bigamous marriage. And because of the bigamous marriage, any any benefits that he is able to obtain through marriage, i.e., sharing information, sharing credit, sharing accounts, doing things like that, may be null and void because it was all a sham. It was a sham and a scam. And so she can say whatever, but if she says, based on the fact that I was being scammed, no, I wouldn't have let him use my credit to buy that. No, I didn't know when he left the house that day that he was going to go buy something, and I wouldn't have minded. But the fact that I was being scammed for the past 10 years, the fact that it was not with my knowledge, then yeah, it's a scam. Right? So great question. Thank you for asking that. Let me see. Hoover may try to argue the fact that the vehicle was searched. The bag of dicks, as Joey would call it, has nothing to do with discovery to other things he is accused of doing to or with others. Let me understand this question better. Hoover may try to argue the fact that the vehicle was searched. I think he is, right? The bag of dicks, as Joey would call it, has nothing to do with the discovery. Just Shar, drop that question again. Maybe break it down a little bit more so I can really understand what you're saying. He is trying to suppress the vehicle search. So he is arguing the vehicle search. That's number one. So that is happening, right? But at the end of the day, even if they're calling it a Fourth Amendment violation, because the vehicle did not belong to him, and he wasn't married to the person it belonged to, and the person he belonged to, he was actually running a scam on, Number one, she says she was not aware at the time it was purchased that he was using her information. Furthermore, um, we know that when it was purchased, the information used to secure the contract with the company had bogus information on it. If Shirley purchased that car for Nesto, wouldn't Shirley have put valid information? So Nesto secured the car in her name, but Nesto really wasn't her husband. So he didn't have the authority as a husband to be able to sign his wife's name or use his wife's information interchangeably because that wasn't his wife. Because that was a scam. Edith or one of them other ladies is his wife. Wooten already said he didn't need that vehicle search. He said he really didn't need the vehicle search because even though it does have receipts, um, yeah, he doesn't need it, but and we know this, Pebble Lane, but the thing is that Wooten, um, Hoover keeps bringing that up as an issue and it hasn't been solved yet. So because it's on the table, they can't just like, okay, we're going to just ignore that and move on. Dunaway just seems to be, it's kind of like it's pulled over to the side of the road and nothing seems to be happening with it. So even though Wooten doesn't need it per se, he doesn't want it thrown out because let's just say it gets thrown out. um that could be a good argument in the next case, which is the sexual assault, to use that in a previous case Judge Dunaway ruled that search was illegal and we threw that evidence away. That could be harmful to Ernell Winfrey's next her case, which is the sexual assault case. So even though it's not germane to it's not needed for Wooten's argument, because Sean is trying to use a technicality to either slow things up or to screw things up, who knows. um they are parked on it right now because it is definitely information that Ernell Winfrey needs for her case. So Hoover's trying to keep out, right, he's trying to keep out that evidence. And right, but I think based on what I saw today, um I think, and and I guess this could be what lawyers do. um I mean, I guess you're doing your homework, right, as a lawyer, trying to find if there are before you even make it to court, finding those technicalities to maybe get your client either some advantage or maybe even possibly throw things out. And that, so he's just doing his job. But girl, we're stuck. We're stuck on this. um okay. If they throw out the car search, then can they mention any of the victims that we have been learning about the past few years? So let's be specific. The victims of this RICO, I mean, why? Yeah, why not? The keep in mind, Ms. Bickham, I think she had a report filed prior to the vehicle search. So when Wooten said he doesn't need the vehicle search, he means anything derived from it too, right? But he doesn't want it thrown out because that, like I said before, that would have an effect on the sexual assault case, which is not part of this case, right? It's two separate cases. Um, but Olivia Washington, all of the people whose names came up in the vehicle search, like the receipts of Gail Bickham, the blood oath of the young lady who is the SA victim, all of those names have came up and out independent of the receipts from the vehicle search. For instance, Melanie Scretchen, who filed a police report far before the vehicle search. So, because she filed that before Neesto got arrested, right? Um, she filed the stolen vehicle report because she gave Neesto the car to sell. He sold it to the sexual assault victim's daddy, but he never gave that lady her money that he acquired for the sale of the vehicle. So the young lady who was sexually assaulted, either her grandmother or her auntie, somebody got arrested for driving around in a stolen vehicle. So not all, but a handful of people whose names are associated with receipts that were found in the car. Yes, those receipts are probably helpful, but those cases were already in progress before he was even arrested. Like, if you think about it and go back to the videos, you guys, because everything is we've gone through all these police reports. We can do, of course, we can always do it again. We'll spin the block, right? But if you think about it, a lot of these events were taking Mark Crawl, who said you hadn't, someone's living in my house and hasn't paid my rent. Those calls were made before Neesto got arrested, right? So a lot of the things that happen, a lot of the names, the victims that are associated in the RICO, these people have all been in play before he ever even got arrested, i.e., before the vehicle got searched. He wants to play around. Sean is trying to have the evidence thrown out because it has an effect on the case that could put him away for life. Let's watch and see how these people get sentenced tomorrow. Is it tomorrow or Tuesday? Tomorrow it's Monday. For rape and all of the other things. I mean, clearly his case isn't as severe, but it's like if you put this case and Nesto's other case together, these are some serious cases. Let's see how this particular judge, who's not the same judge, I want to just be clear with all my footnotes. It's not the same judge. It's not the same case. It's not, what I'm saying? But let's just collect the information, see how it goes, see what people are, what people are getting sentenced to for similar situations in Fulton County. Okay. You are jamming in that picture. Oh my God. Last night. Yeah. Oh, that wasn't last night. What was that? Friday? Girl, a mess. When I reviewed the 39 count indictment, I counted 16 victims. This number does not include the businesses that he scammed. Yeah, it doesn't. So businesses he scammed. Oh, you're talking about like all of the rental companies, so like Vista Ray Properties. And so one person, let me think. Which companies are you talking about, DC Lively? Which are you talking about? All of his rental, like renting properties and not paying contracts and things like that? Is that what you're referring to? So what I'm going to say is this. The rental scams, like, so let's just say Vista Ray Properties, um those things could be probably rolled into under Judge Ashley when he brought Erica King to court and presented Erica King in Judge Ashley's court for the dispossessory. So even though they're not specifically bringing in the dispossessory, they're bringing in like the actions where they brought in kind of like the identity theft, the false filing of documents, all of that stuff, because those things were attached to the dispossessory. So, oh, the bad check. Okay, so the bad check to the car place, that's in the RICO. That's the hold on, let me pull that up. That's the big techs. Big Tex is on there. Um, that lady Tammy Sexton, Big Tex, whatever, and the other car place. Both of those are on there. Hold on, let's see. You're talking about in the indictment? Yeah, they're in there. They should be. Uh, let's see. Criminal indictment, Williams. Okay, so hold on. So yeah, there's a theft by taking, Act 15, theft by taking, Big Tex. Let's see. Big Tex Trailer World. Then there's also those places are in here. Where he got the trailer and a couple of other things, those things are in here. Hold on one second. Let me go back. Okay. She's speaking of the individuals. Right. I get what you're saying, that there's individuals and companies. I think someone said that the companies were not in there. Okay, let me drop the link so you guys can. Sometimes it's hard to read you guys text messages because it might read well like as you're typing it, but when I'm reading it, it's kind of, it can be fragmented, and then I'm kind of like, okay, what is that? What exactly are we referring to? So 16 plus businesses. Okay. I think she was saying it 16 folks, not counting the other stuff in the RICO. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Ernesto doesn't have money for shoes. I love it. He doesn't have money for shoes. Do we know if Nesto ever got shoes? I guess we can check the most recent text messages and see if he makes note that he got any shoes. I'll have to pull that up. But I think the text messages now, I need to get another set because the ones that I have go up to the 15th. Let me do a quick search and see if it says anything about shoes. Hold on. Sonia says she was going to send him some shoes. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can break some news on here that he got his shoes. So there are shoes I want. Okay. On 7-Eleven, I'm just gonna let me see. That's from Sonia. Let's see. Shoes, two references to shoes. 7-12 from Ernest. I ordered my shoes today. Okay. Breaking news, you guys. Have no fear. Mr. Gout is getting some shoes, baby. Okay. Drop your questions, guys. Put them in the Q&A. Put them in the Q&A block. Nesto's getting some shoes, y'all. Okay. I'm getting excited about his trial. I'm not getting excited about his trial, Janetta. I'm not getting, you know why I'm not getting excited? Because I think that Nesto has a verifiable track record of putting in guilty pleas. He might even put in a guilty plea and not even have a negotiated. He may put in a non-negotiated guilty and just take what he can get. I don't know that Nesto wants to be dragged. Nesto is not that you Nesto barely wants Sonia talking about him tying a pair of shoes. And as much as she has put into his head that everybody's watching, there'll be cameras watching in the courthouse, the bloggers are laughing at him, talking about him, all of the things. Let me pin this. Hold on. I don't think he's going to want to do it. Look, do you not see how many people we've got major cases that are going on right now, major cases with varying different degrees of boatloads of evidence or whatever, where people are taking pleas. They don't want to be dragged on Front Street. They don't want to be dragged. So people are taking pleas. I almost feel like there's not even going to be a trial now. I really don't. Maybe there will be, and good. I'm excited for it too. But low key, I'm not excited because I don't even want to have, I don't want to get like, oh, I can't wait, because I feel like it's not going to happen. I feel like it's not going to happen. He's not going to get 10 years. He's going to get like 20, 30 years. That man is not getting out no time soon. He's going to be about 75. He's going to be barely seeing. He's going to be walking out with some Coke bottle glasses, bent over. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like bad back, bad kidneys, doing a shuffle. He's not getting out anytime soon, in my opinion. If he does, good for him. I just don't know if Sean Hoover's the person who's going to do it for him. Uh, let's see. Isn't this his fifth strike, girl? Hold on a second. Okay, Velcro on the way. I kind of have that feeling too. He is looking at major time. He might be like one of these. Okay, do you understand that the judge, you do not have a negotiator? Like, remember, okay, so how Thug, and he's not Thug, so you guys don't lose your mind. I'm just giving a frame of reference that's recent. There were some people in the YSL trial who had negotiated plea deals, and there's one specifically who did not, right? And he doesn't have that lawyer and he's not that person, right? But one person in the YSL trial, namely Jeffrey Williams, went and said, I'm pleading guilty to this and that, no contest to that. And I'm not saying that he's going to get the same. Yeah, he's not getting out. All I'm saying is this: getting entering a plea of guilty does not give you any type of guarantee to a particular sentence. Even if the district attorney says, hey, we're going to offer you this, that, and the third, at the end of the day, it's still the judge that is going to make the final decision to accept that deal or say, I need you to you might want to look at that again, because remember what happened with Erica King. They gave Erica one thing, and Dunaway looked at it and gave it right back, and they went over that lunch break and reworked it and came up with something else, and then the judge accepted it. So he had Sonia and she dug his hole all the way down. Yeah, he's 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 clearly said that he's tired. Thank you to everybody dropping these milestones. They need to put Nesto away. Well, they have him up on a shelf right now. All the dealerships. Nesto's life is full of scams and shenanigans. I feel like we went through the whole entire Did we not do this recently? We went through the whole entire indictment and looked at all of the victims, right? But we can do it again. Um, Loving it here. Happy Sunday. Love it here. We love you here. Nesto's life is full of scams and shenanigans. All the dealerships, they need to put Nesto away. So I don't know. We just know this is what's on here. We'll go through it in a minute. Okay. So first things first, let's look at this. Let me share my screen. Somebody asked, one of our good sisters asked, do we know if Dion sent some money? Now, I don't know if Dion sent money, but we know that. So Nesto is reporting that he is ordering some shoes. All right, where is this? Okay. Is this the one? This is not it. Hold on, guys. Let me find it. Okay, this is it. Let me make it big. $7.12. I don't even want to read all this. I ordered my shoes today. I will have them next store call. Looking forward to having church service tomorrow. So I guess that was Saturday. Yeah, so today's the 20th, so last week Sunday would have been the 13th. Looking forward to having church service tomorrow. Sorry I didn't get no haircut. God said come as you are. On a side note, tell my little buddy mother that I'm still kissing my Bible every night before I go to sleep and keep praying as well as his faith in God high. Okay. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't think Sonia knows what he's talking about either. I think maybe he's not eating, so he's delusional. I'm not really sure. Anyway, but the news is that he got his shoes. I wonder, are we going to find out did he actually get his shoes? Let's see if it says anything about money. Money. So on 7/8, like you said on our last visit, nobody is going to waste time sending money coming to visit to this jail. Can you guys see? Yes, okay. Going sending money coming to jail visits if they didn't believe they were innocent as well as accepting their phone calls. Is that Ernest talking? Girl. Okay. Money. So on the 12th, she said she was sending the money, and then later on, he said that he was ordering his shoes. 1623. And then he said he's ordering. I lost it. I'll have to search it again. So there are shoes I want. Yeah, he said he ordered his shoes on the 12th. He'll get it the next time store call. So I don't know who sent the money. If Sonia said she was sending the money for something, maybe Dion sent him some money. I'm not really sure. My phone won't let me get into StreamYard, but I want are you I don't know. You should either be able to do it on Chrome or I mean, I can do it on both. I can do it on Chrome and what's it damn called? Um, the Apple search engine. Let's see. Wait, so I don't know. I don't know. You guys have so many like I have no idea. I'm thinking it was Sonia, but I don't know if it was Dion or not. I'm not sure. We just know he's got the money. She said she was sending money. Let me see. Sending. Let me do sending. Like you said, okay. Let's see. Sending. Girl, no. Oh, maybe I should do sent money. Let's see. She said on 12 on 7/12 at 2021, she said she was sending money. But so I wonder, okay, so look at it this way. I wonder if you have to have the money, Safari. I wonder if you have to have the money to place the order, or by the time it comes in, you have to have the money because then they take it off your account to register the order. So maybe he ordered it knowing that she was sending the money, and then I don't know. We have to it's like we have to speculate so much. I'm not sure, babe. Uh, I don't think Dion sent the money. I think he was able to order it almost not credit, but you know how you call and order pizza and they don't always you can call, you know how you do Mocha, you know how you call and do a pickup order and they collect the money from you when you get there, right? You there, Mocha?
I can hear you. Are you? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, so I mean, all this talk
Close
about.
the app. Do you still
Oh,
have the app open in the background?
I
YouTube
don't.
app?
Oh, hold
Step
on.
out YouTube because you're gonna
Hold,
hear it double.
hold on. Oh, yep. There it goes. I just cleared it.
Okay.
Okay.
Better, right?
Is that better?
It's fine. It was fine for me. It's just it's better for you because you're not going to have two apps running stream. You know what I'm saying? Like
Got
you're
it.
streaming YouTube and then you're also even though you're not streaming, you're streaming video on YouTube in the
Hmm.
background of StreamYard. So, it's going to take up more memory in your phone. You know what I'm saying?
Got it. Well, how have you been, Francoise?
Amazing. Having, nice quiet summer.
Yes, ma'am, indeed.
What about you?
Um, just doing the mom thing. My son is
Moving right along.
working.
Mhm.
He's being responsible, saving money.
Oh, nice.
He's gotten better.
Congratulations.
Yeah, he's gotten better from his leg injury
Mhm.
back in May. So he's back to running at full speed, which is great. And he
Oh,
goes back
good.
to football this week. But
Okay.
other than that, yeah, exited 55 and entered 56 and
Okay, praise God.
praise God,
Yes.
and I was just sitting here like, I was wondering what was coming because all that freedom's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Even if it does come from Fulton County, they still want him in Henry County, don't they?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. And even if he does get out, I'm sure some of his stipulations are not going to allow him to roll around in that tin can with slow hand.
No. I mean, it just depends. Like if he were free and clear, then he'd be free and clear, but we know that's not going to happen. He's not going to be free and clear.
I feel like
Um,
this: if Eric is not free and clear, I don't see him being free and clear. You know what I mean? If I kind of, I kind of mirror like whatever Erica got, Nesto can't get any better than that. You know what I mean?
mhm.
I don't think that he can get any better than what she got.
I think Nesto is looking at 20 years minimum, and that's 20, whatever it is, and to serve 20. I think he's getting, however it gets sliced or diced. I could see him when you put everything together, and I'm talking everything, um, minimum 20 years, because just to factor in, he's got a whole entire RICO case right now,
Yep.
but right behind it, he has a sexual
SA.
assault
Yes.
case.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So
ma'am.
even if he were to have a negotiated deal or non-negotiated deal, or non-negotiated plea, and see what the judge gives him, he's still back to Cobb County waiting for Ernell Winfrey. Now he'll be done with Will, and then
Right.
now he'll have Ernell Winfrey, and I don't know if Hoover needs to take out of his same playbook that aggressive, barbaric tone that he had with those people about the young lady who got sexually assaulted like he did in this last case, because that was crazy.
Right. I was just blown away. He was
I
like
was like, what the
victim
hell is
blaming.
this kind of mess? This is some mess.
He was like, "Why didn't you call for help? Why didn't you do?" I was like, "What the hell is wrong with you, sir? What the hell is wrong with you? She's a victim of, you know, egregious acts and he's acting like she brought it upon herself."
Basically.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what his client told him, Maybe that's what his client. I'm sure his client is not above and beyond saying whatever he needed to say to convince his lawyer. So that's probably what he was told. But if he had any, I mean, there's a way to deliver information that doesn't come across so nasty. The way he put it, just, for like I said, if I had been sitting on that jury listening to his opening statement, I would have been very put off by his delivery.
And I'm just going off of Sonia's conversation with Silverback the other day, where she was saying that he's not going to plea. He's not pleading to this, but the way the system is set up, that he's breaking down, he's tired, and he would plea. He just wants to get out. So I'm
Sonia wants to make it seem like she knows Nesto. Sonia knows Nesto about as well as we do. Okay,
Nesto ain't
she's
going to
not
deal with her after
right.
this.
She's not offering up any information like that's your boo,
Yeah,
girl. We
yeah,
already know that the numbers don't lie. Will Wooten already put out the paperwork. Every single case Nesto has had, he has put in a guilty plea.
yeah,
Nesto has never been adjudicated to a guilty. He's always came through with the guilty.
yeah,
So
yeah.
what makes today any different?
And you were right what you said earlier. Nesto, he's got too much pride to go to trial. You know what I mean? He doesn't want his dirty laundry aired out in
He
trial.
wanted to show up to the divorce hearing.
Yeah, just based on the way he behaved at all of his, his little hearings or whatever.
Mhm.
Just mute. Even Judge Dunaway was offering him a chance to speak, and he would not speak.
Yeah. He doesn't
So
want to say a word.
he don't want to say a word. But I mean, I see him 15 to 25, 15 to
You know
25
what I'm
years.
saying?
Mm-hmm. And he gonna be, like he said, free or dead, and that's pretty
Mhm.
much what it's gonna be.
It's a mess. Let me just say, Ms. Mesmerize, thank you so much. I appreciate you, sis. Thank you so much for supporting. Yeah, I totally I don't know. I mean, if it goes to trial, great. But I just, I don't know. After what we've seen the last few times when there's been court, just the game playing of it all, I'm just waiting for to see what happens. Let's just look. This is my prediction, and I could be totally wrong. So after this happens, then I'll have another prediction, right? But this is my latest prediction. If they decide that the evidence is not going to be, if motion is denied to suppress the vehicle evidence, they're gonna go ahead and put that plea in.
I just wanted to jump through the damn screen over Sonia talking about Shirley the way she was. I was like, bitch.
She's got no class.
She just,
Um, because the last couple cases, so I've been watching Kohlberger and Stefan Starn. So Kohlberger lost a major motion a couple of weeks ago. And
hmm
what happened? They went ahead and took that plea. They went
took
ahead and
that.
put in a
Yeah,
plea and got the death penalty off because he says he did it. So I mean, we have no reason to not believe he did it. Why be dragged all the way to a guilty when you already know you're guilty? So he lost one of his opportunities to be able to argue a different type of alibi because the judge was like, that's basically, it was almost like he's like, this is a preposterous no motion, so it was denied. Then you have recently, which tomorrow, Stephen Starnes is going into court to put in a plea. He's already put in a not guilty. What does he need to come and do a plea the week that the jury's trial is supposed to start? His trial is supposed to start this week, but he's coming in to put in a new plea. So everyone thinks that he's coming to put in a guilty
yeah.
on the sexual assaults and the murder. And because he doesn't want to get, I mean, it's disgusting. So they just lost the motion when they were in court the other day, and I was saying the audio was horrible, that his attorney had put in a motion to have his cell phone search suppressed because he said he didn't give permission for them to search all through his phone like they did, even though it's on like body cam footage and all kinds of stuff where he gave the lady permission to check his phone and to download his phone,
Mm-hmm.
of where they found like 10,000 images of the young lady who passed away, or young lady who was killed. Let me just say it like that. Um, and they lost that motion, and they're coming in to put in a plea. I think that with that vehicle search, I think he knows he's cooked.
Yep.
And if Judge Dunaway denies the motion, I don't think they have much of a defense based on everything that's happened. And I think they're going to try to, he probably just going to go ahead and come in on that guilty.
Yeah. Hoover is definitely the the wrong public defender for
Oh,
him. I mean, just like his track record is 25 to life, uh,
girl, when I show you guys
LWAP,
this video, I
life
have
without parole.
girl, I have been clicking down the line. I don't want to tell too much because he might go in there and put all my cases on lockdown. I don't know what kind of foolishness he does down there at the courthouse, so I don't want to say too much, but I was doing my research today, and girl, not a glimmer of hope. The one glimmer of hope was when he had that one case that was dismissed
Hmm.
on the technicality of the vehicle search, but it was because the police officer didn't show up to testify. And he's not that lucky in this case. Natalie Fields is on point every time they call her. She's there.
Yeah.
So
He won
they,
that by default because the cop didn't show up. That's like if you
right,
get a speeding
right,
ticket and you go to court and the cop that issued the ticket doesn't show up, they'll throw it out.
right,
So, and we have no idea why that cop didn't show up. So, and Natalie,
right.
she's going to be front and center. Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, so he can look her in her face and holler she got her promotion off of me and all that other
Right.
mess. But yeah, I just don't. I mean, I was looking forward to a trial, but the way Sean, give me 6 months, give me 9 months, Hoover, push things back. Some try to blame this on the prosecutors holding out to get a plea from Nesto. And I'm like, no, his attorney held out. His attorney, Will
Sean,
Bougie was,
give me 6 months.
yeah, Sean, give me 6 or 9 months to be prepared.
Let me tell
Hoover.
you, this is another funny one. So Sean Sean had another case, and I purposely am not remembering names because I didn't want to attach names to everything, but everything is in the system. You can go find it, or if you want to know more, I can go back and find it. But there was a case that Sean went ahead and filed the speedy trial. So let's say the person got arrested in March of 24.
Hmm.
Okay. He files for a speedy trial March of 25. Girl, the judge was like, you needed to have filed this. This person was the case opened, da 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 da, and you were in my court and blah blah blah, and you had time to do this, that, and the third. And basically, no, because the for you to have filed this has passed.
Yeah.
It's been a year. You were supposed to file this like in 90 days, and that
Yeah.
was not filed. And for that reason, your motion is denied. I was just like, okay.
So
So
he technically waived Nesto's speedy trial when he asked for that 9 months.
he did. He
Yeah.
did. Now, did
Yeah.
he ever file for it? No. But when he asked for all that extra time, he would have been out of time because he asked for time.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Lock 'em up Hoover. Let me read this. I believe Nasty Nesto will plead. No way does he want those victims and women telling their stories. Sonia will blame the government. That's from Anastasia. Let me just read this other one too. He still has a bigamy. So Shar, the bigamy is rolled up into the
The
RICO. So
Rico.
he's
Hmm.
not, he doesn't have a bigamy charge independent. Well, he does, but everything is in this particular case.
It falls under
So
the
once
acts.
this
Yeah.
case is adjudicated, everything falls under that. So he has that in. the current case. In the RICO activity, all of those things are in there. I'll pull that up and show you guys. But it's, let me see, it's right here.
Yeah, but I agree with
Oh,
you. Like this is, I mean, this might look like a win in his eyes, but he still got to deal with Ernell's ass. You know what I mean? And
oh,
those two charges were the ones that had no bond and what 800,000 was it
oh,
eight
he's
hundred? Yeah, he's
this.
cooked.
Yeah, well, this particular, he has no bond at all in the RICO. The RICO is a remand. He's not allowed to get out. There's
No,
it's a
yeah,
zero bond. I'll have to pull up the last one, the 277-page document. The last page of it was the no bond uh image. I'll have to pull that up if you give me a minute. But this is the bigamy right here, hun. It's count 4. To the person who mentioned the bigamy, Shar, it's right here. It's count 4 of the RICO. Everything's in here. All of those items are all in here. It's like all, it's a mashup. Everything in here, all in one.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't see this love story ending well for Sonia if she thinks that she's going to be rewarded for, you know, hanging in there with him or whatever.
Girl,
Nesto,
the
she is
battle of the
if
thirstiest.
if he were on the streets, like she would not be the type of woman that he would go for. You know what I mean? He only wanted her once he was locked up. He was ditching and dodging her out with Melanie Scretchen when she was looking for him in May of 2022.
Yeah, because
She
Melanie had deeper pockets.
deeper pockets.
Sonya
Amen.
was just a screw.
Yeah. And she's coming off like, I got the money. Girl, you don't have the money, because if you had the money, you would have gotten him a paid attorney. This shit would have been over a long time ago. And you would have a residence for that man to come home to. He cannot come home to an RV. He's going to need an
No.
address. He's going to need to set his ass down somewhere. And I don't no apartment living is going to be good enough for him, because he is so used to a certain lifestyle. And you heard him when he told her, I'm different. I'm different when I'm out. I'm different when I'm out. And she needs to heed to his warning. He's different when he's out. He's going to know that her hair ain't down to her bra straps. he's he's going to know she ain't got no edges. He going to see that tooth. I mean,
Mm-mm.
everything is gonna hit him in the face, and I mean, he's probably gonna hang in there with her for about 2 weeks. But like you said before, you can see 1 week they're cool, second week arguing, third week the cops are being called.
Okay.
It's gonna be a whole Fran Drew. That's what's gonna be. It's gonna be a Fran Drew.
He's not gonna, she wants to be booed up, and he's not booed up. He's just not the type who wants to be booed up. He's
No.
not giving that. So I don't know. Her impression is that, if her impression is that he's going to be in the kitchen making eggs and not going out, she's got to be kidding. Even if he's on an ankle monitor, he's not. I don't think he's going to be giving what she wants. Let me see. Oh, hold on a second. Let me show you this. If I have it. Okay. Let me show. This is the last page of the supplemental information. See this? That was, I feel like they don't have a bond. He's like remanded into custody.
Yeah, yeah. I don't see
No
freedom
bond.
coming.
Sheriff, take good bond in the sum of no bond. So all the other bonds, he might have bond on some other things, but on this RICO, baby, it's no bond.
No bond.
On 24 SC 001723, All the other bonds, I'm sure can whatever is on the sexual assault, which I still think that there might I don't know if he's got bond on all of that. He may or may not, but it doesn't matter because this is none. That's why I mean, if you notice, he hasn't talked about it at all. They haven't tried to have a bond hearing, which he's indigent, doesn't have any money anyway. So,
The
but
the CP
this is no
charges of
bond.
the CP charges hold 800,000 alone, right?
Yeah, it's something crazy.
Yeah, 800,000
Or
for
maybe
the CP.
350 now, 350. So it was like 7. I think Manning gave that one last reduction of and let down maybe I think it might be 700. Like they got 25,000 off a piece or something. I'm not sure. I think it could be 700.
Hmm.
But
Either way,
it doesn't matter. Yeah.
it's unattainable.
If
Okay.
it were 700 pennies right now, he still don't have it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have it. It's
um,
no bond. Wait, let me hold on. It's no bond. Let me do it in red. No bond. No bond, Nesto. Sorry.
I
Sorry, no
see it
bond.
in bold capital letters
Okay,
over Miss
no
Bunny's
bond.
name. No bond.
No bond. Sheriff, take good bond in the sum of no bond. No bond. He don't have one.
Mm-mm-mm.
I guess
And
that was her recommendation. Now, if that's what the judge did, I don't know. But I don't know that they ever discussed a bond on that because he don't even have the money. It's like why take up the court's time to entertain that? Because he's in such deep water. He doesn't. It's no point.
yeah, no bond Nesto.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do you think what do you think about if Dion I don't know if Dion sent money or not. I really don't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm
Nah,
not
nah,
sure what
I
he
don't
did.
think so either. You know why? Because Dion's house had just got broken into. Dion always got something going on in his own life. And no matter how much money he's flashing or whatever lifestyle he's flashing on IG, it doesn't translate over these phone calls. Is he got $50 to give his daddy for some shoes
Mhm.
at all? And you know, Sonia coming to the rescue, per her text message, you know, she sent him the money for the shoes. And I'd have been like, babe, freedom's coming, walk barefoot. Shit.
Okay. I mean, or wear his flip-flops. I need to look at this again because I remember last time it took us 2 days to go through that document. And I know that there were some parts of it we did not do. That's the first time I'm pulling this up since February. That was such a long read. It took us 2 days to read that whole thing.
Riley in the
Um
comments that says, I thought they discharged the CP. No, ma'am, they revived the CP charges.
Well, look at it this way. They actually indicted it. Let's just say it like that. The
Hmm.
CP, there were CP charges and it was actually indicted back in, I want to say it was May. Let me pull it up real quick. Hold on, because I'm actually in his jacket right now. Um, it actually got indicted this year.
Hmm.
And
Was that in April, like April 30th or
I'm pulling it up. I
uh,
I cannot even anymore.
April
Like look at
29th?
so many damn cases these days. I cannot even remember everything. So his indictment happened. The criminal indictment happened. I'm pulling it up. The criminal indictment was filed on 5/20.
5/20. Okay.
Yep. Rape, aggravated sexual battery, aggravate. So where the difference was he just had charges, now he has an indictment
Hmm.
and there you'll be hearing about that on August 4th or August 11th when he goes back to court because the it has a court date the same date as the RICO. So they'll be talking about both of those matters because as you can see it's also assigned to Judge Dunaway. So they'll be addressing both cases on that day.
Mm-mm-mm. But you don't see anything else out there for a plea here, nothing coming up.
He's got a date on 8/11.
Okay. Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
I
Because
think
it
they're
moved from
waiting to
8/4.
hear him rule. I think they're wait. This is just my speculation, my prediction that they're waiting to get the ruling on the motion to suppress, and from that, because that is such a key cornerstone um item that may make
Hmm.
the defense go one way versus another way. I think they're trying to wait on that, and then based on that they will make the decision, I'm assuming, whether they're going to, stop, drop, and roll, or are they going to proceed with the case.
Yeah. So we've got to wait for 8/11 then.
Hmm.
Just see where all this goes. But yeah, I mean, I really would have loved to see a trial, but I just want to see justice served at this point. Um, you know, I agree with Joey. He's been sitting there long enough without any motion, but thanks to his attorney, you know, this
Based on
one,
what I saw today, he's not the only one. I don't,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, you would think he's some sort of political prisoner sitting up in there. There's plenty of people who've had charges who adjudicated in 2025 who picked up cases in 2022. He's not the only one.
So Sherry's question about Dion's old house. I think Dion's living with the girlfriend and probably abandoned his old property. And then I want to know how do you have a house, sir?
I'm trying to figure out. I don't know anything about Dion. I'm gonna be honest with you. We never talk about Dion. I don't know anything about Dion like that. You know what I mean? Like, I went to his Instagram for the first time in all these years. I don't know anything about that man. He said it was a old when Nesto said, "Don't you have ring cameras?" He said it's an old house. I was like, "See, that's why I'm not even fooling with you, Dion. There's people who have houses that are 100 years old that have ring cameras."
No, he said that he was talking about the house that got broken into was the old house.
Okay,
Mm-hmm. Not, and so that's
so
what I'm
the
saying.
old house. So what does
Yeah,
that mean? That was a house he doesn't live in?
that's what I'm thinking. He may have abandoned a house that he
Girl, because
was
when I
living
was
in.
live, I said, "What do you mean it doesn't have a ring camera? Because it's an old house." So his house got broken into. Well, who
Mhm.
stays there?
Nobody.
Is Dion supposed to own a house? Is that what that's supposed to
That's
be?
what he's making it sound like, and he's living with the girlfriend, his girlfriend. And but he did mention that his house got broken into, and then Nesto asked about the ring camera, and he said, "Daddy, it's at the old house. That's the old house." He was
Uh,
letting him know that it was the old house that
I'm
got broken into.
surprised none of you guys have looked that up.
I mean, I'm not that nosy, but but I
Somebody
mean,
out here is, you know what I'm
it's
saying?
worth
Like,
finding out.
I have not, I don't even know if the man owns property, just to be honest, but I'm sure it's public record. That's easy enough to pull up, but at the end of the day, you know,
And what's
I
going on?
I hadn't even
Yeah.
looked.
I mean, I know you don't talk about Dion, but like what's going on with his situation?
I don't, you know what I mean? Not for any reason like, oh, I'm not getting involved in that. I just,
Have other stuff to
no,
do.
it's Dion's, I mean, I feel this is the way I feel about it. Number one, Dion's not interesting to me. That's number one. Number two, it's more so just because Nesto is a creep and Nesto is out here doing all the wrong things.
Hmm.
I don't know. You know what I mean? Like the casual, the collateral of the surrounding family. Like for me, that's not really entertaining because Dion's really not. He's on the phone calls, but that would be like, you know what I mean? I gotta draw the line somewhere. I'm not really trying to find all, you know, the subjects, family members, and plus I don't know those people. And
Hmm.
Dion, you know what I'm saying? It's a 3-hour drive to Atlanta, from Atlanta. So I'm not really interested in Dion like that. I mean, We went to
I
his
wonder.
Instagram the other
Yeah,
day, and that was cool, but as far as really getting in depth on what he's got going on,
yeah. I'm wondering if that house actually was his mother's house because
right.
remember he said that she's Nesto said that she's living out in the woods or living out in the country out the way. I mean, who knows?
Okay. But that
Who
could girl,
knows?
that could be off, out in one of the counties somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, for some people, if you live in Atlanta, you could probably go 20 minutes outside the city and you're in a more rural area.
You're right.
Like for me in Charlotte, I'm sure where you live. If you go out of town, especially if it can be rural.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, I mean, girl, they got chickens up the road from me. But I mean, I can be downtown in 10, 15 minutes.
Right. Right.
So, people have farm animals.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to, check in and ask those few questions because
Yeah, I don't
I know you
know.
I know you said it looks like what we're saying in chat is fragmented, and I'm like, you could miss one
Just
word and
sometimes.
it'll make the
Right.
whole comment look crazy. Because I watch you read the comments, I'm like, she forgot one word in the comment. That's what probably would make it, like what'd you say, huh? Or punctuation is important. It's very key. If you're asking a question, put the question mark there. Just don't, word it as a question,
Mhm.
because then I used to live stream and that was the same thing I used to go through. Is like, hold on, let me read this question again. Let me read this comment again. I don't understand what you're saying. Say it again, so I totally get that. I can only imagine what your view looks like because, just me as a spectator looking at the comments, I'm like, I understood what that meant, but interpretation, you know, because like I'm sure you dot your i's, cross your t's, and curl your q's, and if there's no question mark, it's not a question in your
No,
eyes.
I'm not that rigid. You know that. I just didn't understand the question. That's all. I just didn't get it. And it's hard, sometimes it's hard to just understand what I mean, I feel like it's, sometimes I'm just not going to get it, and that's okay. You know what I mean? That's why I just drop the link or just ask, "Hey, I'm not understanding. Can you rephrase that for me a little bit?" Someone's asking, what house did Dion's girlfriend paint? I thought his
It was her
girlfriend painted
grandmother's
the
house.
okay, she
I think it
painted
was her
her.
grandmother's house, right?
I don't know. I have to go back and
Because he was
listen.
talking about her granny passing away, and I believe she was like getting the house ready or whatever, but I think it was her granny's house that she was painting.
I When I heard Nesto talk about somebody painting something, I immediately thought of when Nesto compared Sonia to some woman who painted Dion's mother's house, but I'm not. I know that that's not what you guys are talking about at this moment. That's something else. But Dion and Lamont calls, I I zone out. Plus, I'm usually talking to you guys, reading comments. It's very much distracting. If I don't watch the video like 2 times before I go live with you guys, and I'm watching it for like the first time with you guys, which I rarely do, but considering that I'm reading comments, managing kind of what's going on here, and depending on what's going on in my house at the time.
Oh, so they're saying that it was Dion's mother's house. But
Okay.
I don't even think the girl with the braces is the same girl that was painting, because he tried to like hush Nesto up when Nesto was like, is that the one that was painting the house or whatever? And
Mhm.
and he kind of hushed him up.
That's what I thought he was talking about, that girl that he thought that reminded him of actually Sonya, that she's like that.
Mm.
Whatever, I don't know if it was look or attitude or what, but he said she reminds me of that girl. That's what Nesto said. She reminds me. She's like her.
Mm. Okay.
Whatever that meant, because Sonya was
So
like,
the
What's that
most
supposed to mean? What's that mean?" Yeah, handy girl. Maybe it was because she was a handy girl.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to check in on those, my question about what I
Of
have.
course. I'm
And
so glad you did. I'm so glad to talk to you. I hope you have a wonderful evening. It's so hot. I know it's got to be hot out there.
In Texas,
Oh,
actually, it's breezy. It's been overcast. Thank God we haven't
mm,
had any rain, heavy, substantial rain in the past couple of I want to say past couple of days. My sister lives up in the hill country.
mm-hmm.
She's more adjacent to the flooding than crazy Jasmine is. But
Girl.
girl, I don't even want to go there because we're not talking about that. But so she was in California when all of this flooding started, and I'm like, sissy, have you checked your cameras to see if your house is underwater? And she's like, I'm retired, I'm on vacation, the house is insured. And so I was talking to my mom, I'm like, Mom, what? I said, you guys act like you're not worried, like it's really flooding out here and people are dying out here. And so she said, yeah, we're seeing that on CNN, but your sister's saying that it's not near her. And tell me why her husband came home a day before she did. And they live in a gated community. But her house, like the mansions are up on a hill, but then there's houses on the lower
Mm-hmm.
ground. But the security gate, there's a cute little creek that's just a rock creek, never any water in it. That thing flooded over the roadway.
Mm.
But she's near the Guadalupe River, so it
Okay.
it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. And then before this, we had 11 people lose their lives in the city of San Antonio for flash floods, like less than 15
Mm.
minutes away from me. And I've heard about flash floods and the dangers of flash floods, but in the 11 years that I've been here, I've never seen the toll on life like this. And I seriously pray for everyone that has lost family, lost their kids,
Oh.
lost, I pray for them, because imagine sending your kid out to a camp and then, you know, they don't come home because that happened. And it was kind of like, Hurricane Katrina, where the people were warned and people didn't leave.
Mm-hmm.
They were given a warning, but I feel in my heart of hearts, I feel like park rangers should have went out and made sure the RV parks were cleared and the campgrounds were cleared. But people were staying put because it was the 4th of July. So my birthday was the 3rd, and I've never had a wet birthday. And it started raining that night when the clock struck midnight for the 3rd. It started
Wow.
raining, like white out rain coming down so heavy, and the campgrounds got flooded overnight. That's how that
Mm.
happened. So, but yeah, I don't want
That's
to
terrible.
take you off the
It's
topic here. I'm getting ready to go pick up Gavin from work. So
well,
yeah,
you
I'll
have
be
a safe
listening.
ride. Get there, get back safely,
You'll be
and
on my
have a
Bluetooth.
wonderful evening.
You too. I'll be here listening.
Okay, I appreciate you calling in, hun.
All right. Bye.
Thank you, babe. Okay, all right, bye bye. Oh, Mocha's so sweet. Thank you, Boo, for calling in. Okay, well, I mean, I don't have any other questions in the Q&A. Let's see. I don't know. Dion is not a likable character to me. I'm gonna he's not interesting. He's kind of goofy now. If anything, he's kind of displayed himself to be somewhat goofy. His Instagram is very goofy, and but he's just whenever I don't, whenever phone calls posts a video and it is a Dion call, it's like, oh yeah, it's like one of those things where I'm like, oh yeah, I totally forgot about Dion. You know what I mean? Dion is I never even think about it. I just don't. I sometimes I'm like, I wonder what Dre's up to. We haven't heard from Dre. Dre is an interesting character. Dre is funny. Dre is appropriately interested in the internet. He likes what's going on the internet to a certain degree cuz he was having a ball laughing. I don't you know what I'm saying? He was enjoying. He knew everybody's name. He knew what was going on. All of those things. I like people who understand this thing and take it on the chin. You know what I'm saying? People who get too serious about it, like Dion and Sonya's kind of a necessary evil. She is the collateral damage in all of this because she keeps showing up. If Sonya would disappear, she'd be gone to me. She don't want to disappear. She shows up to a phone call probably 2 and 3 5 times a day and 25 times on a Sunday. Like she's just around. You know what I mean? Dion is very much not worth looking into for me. It would, if someone else did a live on Dion and got us caught up, would I listen? Of course, but that doesn't you know what I'm saying? That won't do anything for me as far as picking him up to you know, like, oh wow, you know what I mean? I'm just not interested in him. Dre's funny. Dre's funny. He's a likable character. You know, Dion is forgettable. Like Dion, I just kind of forget that he's there. Laverte, all of the others, and rightfully so. You know why? Because they don't want to be on the blogs. Laverte doesn't want to be on the blogs. Laverte's not even here. She's barely, you know, no, because she's keeping a low profile. Dion, even though he's not keeping a low profile, you know. I know, poor Dre. I feel like Dre must have gotten himself dragged. Dre is obviously, you know, he said he was going through some things, so that's that. You know, if we check in on Dion's Instagram here and there, cool. Um, he's just goofy. Anyway, guys, I'm not going to hold y'all. This was fun. Getting caught up and see what was going on. Like I said, I'm working on my little research project, so maybe I'll have it done. I don't know if I'll have it done tomorrow, because then I got to edit the video. So, okay, you see what I'm saying, Mai Tai? You forgot about Laverte. He's got 6 kids. There are 4 of them we've never even heard from. Not to mention, Sir's got 2 sisters. He's got 2 sisters. We never do. We does any like hello? He's got 2 sisters allegedly that are alive. He got 6 damn kids. We know about 2. All of those things, right? Shirley didn't even know how many grandchildren he had altogether. And she was married to that clown. Okay, I wouldn't, yeah. Dre is the only one who remotely holds Nesto accountable in any manner, even though he cuts him too much slack as well. Yep. I think, you know, and you know how it gets, guys. Most people, you know, are living their own lives, doing their own thing. So let me close this. Um, okay. All right, guys, this was fun. I'm glad I had a chance to come through and say happy Sunday, y'all, and chat a little bit. We'll get caught up tomorrow on some other stuff at lunchtime. So I hope you guys, there's so much going on tomorrow too. Lots of true crime. So I will see you guys tomorrow because it's gonna be like, yes, lots going on. So outside of Nesto. So you guys get a good true crime sleep. And tomorrow, while we're live, there's going to just be stuff going on. So there's the sentencing tomorrow. We'll see what Sean Hoover's client gets, along with Attorney Matthews and everybody else. I know there's more than one defendant, but specifically, we're keeping our eye on Sean Hoover. Okay, that's what I do. I don't really care about anybody else. Um, we're keeping our eye on what Sean Hoover's clients are getting. And I want to know what this man is it going to be another life without parole? Okay. Is it giving LWOP? Is it giving LWOP again? We're going to have to see. All right. And then other stuff is happening. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope y'all have a wonderful evening. Thanks for coming through. Make sure to hit the thumbs up for me, and I will see you. Girl, it's giving LWOP. Okay. LWOP. Okay. Ernest LWOP Williams. Okay. You guys have a good night. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Sean, go to the Clink Hoover. Okay. Sean. Jury, how do you plead? Wait, what is the jury? What is the verdict? Sean, guilty verdict Hoover. Okay. Sean, guilty on all counts. Sean, guilty with the exception of pimping. Hoover. Sean, it's over. Sean, it ain't nothing but a thing. Sean, see you next lifetime. Sean, you better call Tyrone Hoover. Sean, outside Hoover. What else? What's another good one? Wait, Sean, you win some, you lose some, Hoover. Sean, another one bites the dust, Hoover. Sean, don't stand a chance. Sean, did they just say guilty? Hoover. Sean, did they just say you're not going home? Did they just say you're out when you're out? Sean, I'll tell your mom you said you love him. Okay. Sean, they're taking you into custody now, Hoover. Sean, my bad, Hoover. Sean, Sean, please, Hoover. Sean, cuff him, Hoover. Sean can't win for losing, Hoover. Wow. Sean dang Hoover. No, I'm just kidding. Sean, I thought we had that one, Hoover. Sean, yeah, I talked to the judge, but he said no. Sean, your mama calling you, Hoover. Sean, blame the victim, okay? Sean, where's your shapewear? What? Sean just came here for a check, Hoover. Wow. Okay. Okay. That's Sonia and Sylvia in the lies. Lies. Praise Jesus. It's a lie. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all go. We're playing too much. Okay. Jumping Jack Flash. Sean, give me one more chance, Hoover. Sean, we just rested our case, Hoover. Sean, block your girlfriend, Hoover. Sean, I hate bloggers. Hoover. Let me go, y'all. I'm playing too much. Y'all have a good night. I'll see you later.